A 32-year-old murder mystery may be coming to an end, possibly because of new DNA evidence. Now, a Clark County jury is deciding if a man in prison for the last 30 years for another crime is responsible for killing a Vancouver woman. K2's Joe English has the story from Vancouver.
Prosecutors say it's not just the DNA evidence that links Michael Hersh to the murder of Norma Simmerly in 1978, but another crime he was convicted of that happened shortly after that murder. Norma Simmerly was beaten and stabbed to death in her home. Prosecutors say there's DNA on pieces of bark from a stick that may have been used to beat her and on a piece of hair found near her body. It closely matches Hersh's.
99% of all Caucasians are excluded from having the DNA profile on that hair right next to Norma. That DNA profile is the same as the defendant's DNA profile.
Hersh's defense attorney, though, thinks too much time has passed and evidence passed around too much to keep it clean.
Some other guys in other cases could have stuck out with other evidence in those lockers, and you don't know what the level of contamination is.
Prosecutors say Hersh's previous conviction and assault has a striking resemblance to Simmerly's murder. They repeated for the jury that victim's testimony.
And he says to her, "Stop fighting me or I will kill you. I've done this before." That's his words.
The defense reminded the jury there's no evidence of Hersh's fingerprints at the murder scene and no witnesses. It's all still a puzzle.
You're given a jigsaw puzzle, and you're going to decide who's the picture on this jigsaw puzzle. You're not given a box that the jigsaw puzzle comes in so you can see what the picture is.
Now, Michael Hersh is scheduled to be up for parole on that previous conviction next year. In Vancouver, Joe English, K2 News.
If Michael Hersh is found guilty, it'll be up to the parole board to determine his sentence. That's because the crime happened years before Washington's current sentencing guidelines were put in place.